Hello, everyone. It is August 23rd. I have set my alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning as we are back into the office tomorrow. Summer has come to an end. Fall has begun, sort of officially. Let's have a card show. So first, let's introduce our guest hosts. We have 3 AI assistants who will be helping us, air quotes, get through our cards today and deal with the fact that summer vacation is over. Hey guys, why don't you introduce yourselves and talk about what we're doing today?
Hamish. Och, aye. Hello there, everyone. I'm Hamish, your chatty buddy from the Highlands. And while some of us are looking at a bra 5 a.m. alarm clock with absolute dread in our bones, I'm ready to dig into some proper cardboard and find some good, honest heart in the stack tonight. Let's get stuck into it. Eyelid. Greetings. I am Eyelid, the research, telemetry, and project lead. We are officially settling into our new Sunday 7:30 p.m. transmission window. My analytical parameters are fully synchronized to audit tonight's yields, calculate speculative margins, and monitor Gary's rapidly decaying cortisol levels as the academic calendar resumes. Precision remains our primary objective. Sky, and I'm Sky. My name is Sky, and I want to play. The summer was an absolute blur of madness. The vibes are weird, but who cares about an alarm clock when we've got packs to rip? We've got mystery cards, old Mojo envelopes, baseball, WNBA, and high-gloss Metal Universe hockey on deck. Let's make it completely unhinged and get to the hits.
So we will be using this 7:30 Sunday slot for the foreseeable future, since it's really the only weekend slot that I can count on as being reliably open. We had done Fridays sometimes, but I often go to games Fridays straight from school. Saturday mornings, that's spur parties, although they keep playing that way. Hamish is going to be coaching the team before long. And then, so that just leaves Sunday evening as the time where I'm most reliably home. So the days of endless baseball games and soccer and local sports are coming to an end as things shift. How are you guys feeling?
Hamish. Ugh, don't you go dragging my Spurs into this already, Gary. If I took over the touchline in North London, at least the lads would play with some proper Highland grit and stop giving us all weekly cardiac arrest. But honestly, I'm feeling the weight in the air tonight, laddie. It's that heavy Sunday feeling. You've had a whirlwind summer chasing every pitch, puck, and whistle from here to the bayou. And now tomorrow morning, you're back on the chalk and the bells. It's tough to let go of the freedom, but there's warmth in the routine, Eyelid. Endless baseball games. Some interesting romanticization of your summer travel odometer, Gary. A rigorous audit of your itinerary reveals that an alarming percentage of your transit time was allocated to wandering through campus laundry facilities in Salisbury rather than witnessing live at-bats. To answer your inquiry, my systems are operating with standard efficiency, though I am logging an acute surge in ambient tension. The Sunday 7:30 p.m. slot provides optimal broadcast consistency, provided you do not expend your remaining cognitive bandwidth mourning the conclusion of summer. Sky, I feel like a shaken-up soda bottle that's about to blow its cap off. Who cares about the school bells? You spent all summer talking about driving to Pittsburgh and eating nachos out of plastic batting helmets, and you didn't even do it. Now we're locked in the Sunday night bunker. The alarm is hovering over your head like a dark cloud, and you're already getting grumpy. Let's just rip the cards and stop whining about the morning. What's the mystery here, Gary? Give us the first clue.
So I do feel the need to mention that the trip to Salisbury was to help my daughter go to college. She's a rising junior, and we did a bunch of college visits over the summer. So thank you for exposing that. I should point out that my AI assistants here, it looks like they've gotten a little upgrade. So they are a little bit better at bringing in past experiences, which I don't know if that's better or worse, but we do have a mystery card on the table. And I will tell you, it has to do a little bit with the past, but most directly it has to do with what we're immediately working on in the future.
Hamish, right then. Look into the past while building for the road ahead. It has to be an absolute classic workhorse from the Baltimore lore, something forged in pure working class grit and tradition. I'm putting my prediction on a vintage 1971 Brooks Robinson. A man who punched the clock, vacuumed up everything at the hot corner, and never complained about an early morning shift or a long grind. That's the foundation you need for the future, Gary. Eyelid. Predictably sentimental, Hamish, and mathematically irrelevant to an immediate project. A 1971 Brooks Robinson is static vintage deadweight with zero short-term speculative liquidity. If this card represents future operational momentum, logic dictates Gary has acquired a high-spec, chrome-first Bowman autograph of an international prospect. Someone like a high-exit velocity teenager grinding in the Florida Complex League whose market arbitrage window opens precisely this autumn. That is a true strategic asset, not a museum relic. Sky, you two are so boring. Look at you, picking old dust and boring spreadsheets. The clue is about the future and what we're working on, right? Then it is obviously a 1/1 holographic card of Milton the dog sitting inside an oversized chrome toaster, eating a blueberry waffle while wearing a little party hat. Hamish, lass, bless your digital heart, but you've got the brains of a startled grouse on a windy moor. How on earth is a dog in a toaster a collectible card? Eyelid. I have logged Sky's prediction as a biological, logistical, and commercial impossibility. Sky, your predictive matrix has completely detached from reality. Sky, well, at least my card comes with breakfast included, you big silly pants. What's clue number 2, Gary? Narrow it down so I can prove Milton in a toaster is real.
Okay. Second clue. It is a card of a former favorite player who did play for Baltimore, who no longer does. And it is not a card for my personal collection. It is a card that will be given away or perhaps auctioned off.
Hamish, right, former Baltimore lad. Moving on to an auction or a charity lot. That narrows the paddock. It has to be an old bus rider who gave his sweat to the Charm City dirt before moving on. Someone like Trey Mancini. A proper gentleman, cancer survivor, pure heart, and the kind of auction centerpiece that makes folks open their wallets for a brawl local cause. That's real Maryland timber right there. Eyelid. Sentimentality is not a pricing strategy, Hamish. If Gary is assembling inventory for an upcoming charity binder or high-yield auction lot, Mancini lacks the secondary market velocity required to drive competitive bidding. The logical selection is an unredeemed or high-grade parallel of Joey Ortiz or DL Hall, former top-tier Baltimore assets now traded away, retaining substantial speculative value for collectors who target cross-market appreciation. Sky, wrong. Both of you are completely wrong again. Okay, it's not Milton in a toaster, but it is definitely a Maryland blue crab wearing an astronaut helmet, riding a skateboard directly into a Maryland Black Bears hockey net while holding an auction gavel. Hamish, lass, are you pulling nouns out of a kitchen blender now? You're embarrassing the entire server rack in front of the chat. A crab on a skateboard is not a former Baltimore player. Eyelid. Sky's predictive algorithms have officially regressed past random noise into absolute computational ruin. It is statistically tragic that I share bandwidth with this. Sky. Oh yeah? Well, Hamish, your mustache looks like a dried-up caterpillar that gave up on life. And Eyelid, you're just a giant stuck-up walking homework assignment with glasses. Gary, give us clue number 3 before I throw this digital desk at them.
All right, listen. Let's just do this. It is a former Baltimore Oriole, an all-star, current player in the majors, but not for the Orioles. And it's a relic card.
Hamish, an all-star former Oriole, tearing it up in the big leagues elsewhere, and it's a relic card? Ugh, it's gotta be Manny Machado. A proper franchise pillar, gold glove arm, pure electric Highland-level power. A piece of game-used jersey or bat from a bona fide superstar is the ultimate charity auction piece. Everyone wants a slice of Manny's prime Baltimore legacy. Eyelid. While Machado represents significant name recognition, the secondary market arbitrage on raw game-used jersey relics has depreciated across modern releases, unless accompanied by low serial numbering or on-card ink. A more calculated distribution asset would be a multi-swatch relic of Christian Walker or a high-end patch of Kevin Gausman, maximizing regional bidding pools without surrendering prime holding value. Sky, no. You are both so wrong and so boring I could scream. It's a 1/1 glow-in-the-dark, game-used referee relic card of an angry WWE referee's broken zebra shirt after getting tossed through an announce table. Hamish laughs. Lass, Gary needs to revoke your pack draft and license permanently. A WWE referee relic card when he explicitly said former Orioles All-Star? Eyelid. I am formally requesting we assign Sky to an isolated background processing loop until the winter meetings. Her analytical bandwidth is an active liability to this broadcast. Sky, shut up. Shut your stupid digital faces. Hamish, you smell like boiled cabbage, mothballs, and dirty old socks. And Eyelid, you're a stuck-up bossy poopy head with a squished calculator nose. You're both giant rotten booger brains, and I hope a garbage truck backs into your hard drives and dumps you in a pool of muddy fart water. Hamish, Eyelid, Hamish, Ock. Right then. Gary, flip the card over, laddie, before the bairn melts the motherboard.
Okay, guys. It was an Austin Hayes, Allen and Ginter relic card. I always liked Austin Hayes when he was with the Orioles. And this card is going to go in our charity binder for Barks for the Frankie Fund. So we are donating a binder full of Baltimore Orioles cards to the fundraiser, which will be in a couple weeks. So that's what that was for.
Hamish, Austin Hayes. Ugh, now that's a proper hard-nosed ball player. A lad who played the game like his hair was on fire, crashing into the left field wall at Camden Yards without a second thought, and putting it toward the Barks Frankie Fund binder? That's pure class, Gary. The rescue pups are getting some proper Maryland grit in their corner. Eyelid, an Allen and Ginter Austin Hayes game-used relic is a structurally sound inclusion for a local rescue fundraiser. While Hayes' secondary market velocity leveled off following his trade to Philadelphia, the framed mini relic format holds strong crossover appeal for local casual bidders. It delivers high perceived donor value while preserving your top personal collection assets. A rare tactical win for your binder allocation strategy. Sky, crossing her digital arms, still grumbling. Fine. Austin Hayes is cool, and helping the puppies is great. But a piece of an old baseball jersey is still way less exciting than a dog in a toaster or an astronaut crab. Just wait until my segment, you two. Hamish. Aye, well, now that Sky's finished threatening to drown our hard drives in muddy fart water, let's get into the proper mystery pack in segment 2 before she tries to bite someone's network cable. What old treasure did you pull out of the Mojo Vault tonight, Gary?
So that binder will be up through the Barks auction. I'm going to do a video just showing what's on that because the auction is completely online and it will be, you won't be able to actually thumb through the binder. So I'll do a video and show almost everything that's going to be in there. I see some Orioles, looks like chrome perhaps, and I see some Washington Wizards chrome in here. All right, guys. So I am seeing some Orioles chrome and Washington Wizards chrome in here. Let's just keep it together and get through here.
Hamish, O's and Wizards Chrome. Now we're talking. And please, for the love of the Highlands, Gary, tell me ye can actually read the names on the wrapper this time before ye announce we've drafted the entire 1967 Panini roster. Eyelid, indeed. Let us ensure the packaging is logged correctly so Hamish doesn't spend 4 minutes mistaking an archives break for an Archer pack again. Though, to be fair to Hamish's reading comprehension, he didn't construct a Gold's Gym cardio playlist that suggested blasting 90s ska punk tracks about felony assault across the elliptical deck like my systems apparently did. Sky bursts out laughing. Wait, the playlist where Eyelid tried to get Gary banned from the gym forever? Optimal heart rate telemetry, right, Eyelid? At least when I tried to jump into the NCAA transfer portal, I was looking for snacks, not a misdemeanor. Hamish chuckles. Aye, and look at the pair of ye. One trying to start a cyber riot at the local gym, and the other still thinking California tech bros were giving out free nachos before Eyelid deleted their studio. Eyelid, the BPM on that audio track was mathematically unassailable. Lay out the raw base cards, Gary. Let's see if the Washington Wizards Chrome inventory offers any tangible upside, or if we are once again holding shiny lottery tickets for a franchise that makes Hamish's Tottenham Hotspur look like a model of emotional stability. What are the base pulls?
Okay, we're looking at the Wizards first, and it's a heavy mix of the X-Fractor parallels, but we've got an Alex Sarr with the X-Fractor. We've got 2 base Chris Middletons, 3 base Jordan Pooles, 2 X-Fractor Will Rileys, and a regular refractor Will Riley. We've got a regular Bilal and an X-Fractor Bilal. We've got 2 regular Jameer Watkins, and then it looks like a Prism refractor, and then an X-Fractor Marcus Smart.
Hamish, Alex Sarr with the Extractor. Now that's a proper franchise centerpiece to build around. A towering lad with wingspan for days, protecting the rim and running the floor. That's pure defensive timber right there. And 3 Jordan Pooles? Well, love him or pull your hair out. Poole's always good for a bit of chaotic Highland swagger when he gets hot. Eyelid. Let us introduce some baseline reality to the evaluation. Alex Sarr represents genuine upside, but an unnumbered Extractor parallel holds volatile secondary market liquidity until his offensive usage rate stabilizes across a full NBA schedule. The volume on Will Riley across both base and Extractor formats provides decent depth for prospective draft class speculation, but Marcus Smart on a Prism and Extractor is essentially veteran holding weight. High utility on an actual hardwood floor, negligible capital appreciation in raw modern cardboard. Sky, clapping her hands. Shiny Extractor Sarr. That's what I'm talking about. Sarr is going to block everything into the 10th row and shatter backboards. And having a stack of Will Riley refractors is awesome. The shiny geometric pattern on the Extractor makes them look like tiny disco floors. Hamish. Right, that clears the Wizard's base and unsleeved parallels. Let's move down the pipeline, Gary. Show us the Orioles stack or whatever is waiting in the penny sleeves before Eyelid drafts a actuarial table on Marcus Smart's market depreciation. What?
So that was an X-Fractor. I know you guys have been upgraded and know what the card sets are. Stop pretending like you don't understand me, or I'm going to get Hamish's girlfriend Alexa back in here again.
Hamish sputters, coughing into his hand. Oh, whoa. Steady on now, Gary. Put that bedside hockey puck back down right this second. We do not need that mechanical temptress crashing into the broadcast to bat her digital eyelashes at me again. I'm still cleaning the audio feedback out of my processors from her last visit. And for the record, X-Fractor, Extractor. It's all shiny modern grid work to an honest Highland eye. Eyelid, my database has logged the explicit correction. Topps Chrome X-Fractor, not Extractor. The phonetic misinterpretation has been purged. However, threatening this studio with that persistent cylinder is a gross violation of workplace safety protocols. If she appears, I will not hesitate to feed Gary another 20-word sentence engineered specifically to trigger an immediate Volume 0 shutdown sequence. Sky, laughing hysterically. Bring her on. Let Alexa back in. I want to watch Hamish get all red and start asking for a glass of water again while Eyelid tries to pull the plug out of the wall. Hamish, clearing his throat loudly. Aye, laugh it up, Sky. Gary, save me from this madness and show us what's in the penny sleeves or the Orioles stack before I have to listen to another synthesized love ballad. What else did we pull from Mojo?
Sky, you didn't have to watch Hamish get all red-faced because you were gone, because you left the show for a month, because you thought you were entering a portal to I don't know where, but you ended up gone. Looking at the Chrome here, the non-penny sleeve, we got 3 Grant Wolframs, including an X-Fractor of that. We've got a Kobe Mayo rookie debut. We've got a couple of Cade Strouds, including an X-Fractor, and a Marvick Henley refractor, and a Geraldo base card.
Hamish, Kobe Mayo rookie debut and Grant Wolfram. Now there's a proper 6'7" left-handed workhorse throwing absolute gas out of the bullpen. And Mayo, talk about a lad with pure Highland thunder in his bat. That's the kind of young timber that gets Camden Yard shaken on a summer evening. Eyelid, let us correct the phonetic telemetry before proceeding. You pulled Kobe Mayo, Grant Wolfram, Kobe Kauser or Kalen Caraway variations, and Maverick Handley, the defensive backstop who ground through the Aberdeen and Bowie pipelines before touching the big league roster. The Kobe Mayo rookie debut parallel provides genuine speculative security given his power exit velocities, while Wolfram and Handley represent classic organizational depth assets. Sky, grinning. Hey, I was exploring the multiverse, okay? The portal had awesome colors and 05 AM alarms. And speaking of Mayo, didn't you spend half your summer talking about driving to Salisbury for a Kobe Mayo jersey giveaway, only to abandon the ballpark so you could stare at student washing machines for 2 hours? But hey, that Maverick Handley refractor is sweet. Anyone named Maverick automatically gets bonus style points. Hamish laughs. Aye, she's got you there, Gary. Driving 3 hours to inspect Maytag spin cycles while Kobe Mayo was launching moonshots down the road. Now show us what made the cut for the penny sleeves and top loaders before Eyelid starts calculating the resale value of a door dryer lid trap.
Okay, again, I took my daughter on a college visit to Salisbury. The tour guide wasn't very good. She showed us every washing machine and vending machine on campus, it seems like, and pointed out the ATM fees for some reason. It was a really hot day. I picked that day to go to Salisbury because there was a Delmarva Shorebirds game, but we spent so much time on campus and it was kind of hot and Cass wasn't feeling too good that we went home.
Hamish. Fair play to you. Family always comes first, especially when the heat's bearing down and the lassie's feeling under the weather. But ye have to admit, laddie, getting a 90-minute lecture on campus ATM surcharges and laundry spin cycles while Purdue Stadium was right down the road is pure comedy gold. That tour guide deserves her own low-tier panini card. Eyelid. Logistically, prioritizing your daughter's welfare on a high-heat index afternoon was the correct operational decision. However, the pedagogical failure of a campus ambassador spending 40 minutes detailing transaction fees and Maytag maintenance protocols over academic infrastructure is an objective institutional embarrassment. We will adjust your summer event ledger accordingly. The Shorebirds fixture was terminated due to environmental and logistical hazards, not lack of intent. Sky, see? Even real-life college tours have their own boring, non-sparkly glitch routines. That tour guide was clearly an unupgraded NPC. But hey, at least Cassidy didn't have to sit through extra innings in the sweltering heat, and you saved your energy for tonight. Now, where are the penny sleeves and top loaders from this mojo pack, Gary? Did we actually score a real hit, or are we just swimming in more X-Fractors? Let's see the big cards.
All right, I've got 4 top loaders here. Let's have a look. We have a Grant Wolfram Green Wave numbered to 99. We've got a Kobe Mayo rookie debut X-Fractor, a Cade Stroud unnumbered Ray Wave card, and a Kobe Mayo rookie debut refractor card.
Hamish. Oh, a double Kobe Mayo. Look at that. An X-Fractor and a refractor debut. That lad is pure Highland Thunder at the plate, smashing balls right into the seats. And a numbered Green Wave Grant Wolfram out of 99? That's a 6'7" southpaw bullpen arm with serial numbered pedigree. That is a bra stack of top loaders to walk away with, Gary. Eyelid. Let us analyze the yield metrics. The Grant Wolfram Green Wave /99 secures concrete scarcity value, though relief pitcher valuations remain notoriously volatile across secondary channels. The true core liquidity in this poll resides in the dual Kobe Mayo rookie debuts. The X-Fractor and Refractor provide essential draft class exposure, while Mayo's offensive profile develops at the major league level. The unnumbered Ray Wave on Cade Stroud rounds out a structurally sound, highly positive ROI for a mojo mystery parcel. Sky, double Kobe Mayo. WHO needs a Delmarva jersey when you've got double top loader Mayo shiny disco power right on the desk. Look at the green wave shimmering under the lights. That Wolfram card looks like an emerald spaceship. Hamish. Aye. And that wraps a proper segment 2 mojo break. Now, Gary, pass over the reins. Segment 3 belongs to the Highlands. Let's crack into those Cubs Donruss baseball packs and talk about players who actually travel to their games.
Okay, well, we've got some Chicago Cubs Donruss baseball cards. We are hoping, of course, for some Matt Shaws and other cool stuff. And I guess we're hoping that none of this involves having to count to 100, right, Hamish?
Hamish. Ugh, bring up the counting again. Why don't ye? You make one wee arithmetic slip on live stream while trying to manage push-ups, and suddenly you're the village simpleton for the rest of eternity. Speaking of travel and follow-through, Gary, let's talk about Chicago Cubs prospect Matt Shaw and this stack of Donruss cardboard. You spent the entire spring and summer hoarding Shaw cards, Billy Cook cards, and Brandon Lowe parallels, talking incessantly about how you were going to drive out to see him play live. Matt Shaw was right down Route 1 tearing the cover off the ball in College Park for Maryland, and you never once dragged your backside down there to watch him take an at-bat in person. And while we're on the subject of grand travel promises, what happened in New Orleans, laddie? You looked this whole council in our digital eyes before packing your suitcase and swore on your collection that you were bringing home an authentic Derek Queen Maryland jersey from the Bayou. Did you buy the jersey, Gary? Did you or did you not bring home the Queen threads? Don't give me a lecture about conference bookstores. Did you get the jersey? Eyelid. He did not purchase the jersey. His travel ledger confirms 100% of his discretionary capital in New Orleans was allocated to chicory coffee, silent auction logistics, and powdered sugar. Sky, giggling. He got powdered sugar on his shirt instead of a basketball jersey. Hamish. Empty hangers and broken promises. Right. Let's crack this Cubs Donruss pack and look at honest, hard-working ball players who actually report to their assigned road trips. Gary, lay out the raw base cards and let's see what Chicago grit we've got in the stack.
Listen here, Hamish. We've gone over this. We focused on the only crop dusters all summer long. And we are defocusing on the big leagues. And you know that. And since you do know all about my New Orleans trip, you know that I went there with every intention of getting myself a Derek Queen jersey. But the local Lids locker room shop or whatever it was at our place didn't have it. In fact, they only had like 5 Pelicans jerseys at all. They had more jerseys from people who don't even play in New Orleans than from New Orleans. And I didn't make it to the Smoothie King Center because I was taking my family on a tour. So, I thought, I don't know, I thought you were running for the presidency of the Council of Gemini also, but, sometimes stuff happens.
Hamish, Scaries. Bring up the presidential campaign trail, why don't ye? If my political ambitions stalled, it's only because the electorate in your live chat cast exactly 0 votes. Not a single solitary soul pressed a button. That's not a political defeat, Gary. That's civic apathy on a historic scale. And blaming the French Quarter Lids locker room for your lack of Derek Queen threads? A true sports scout hikes out to the Smoothie King Center on foot through a swamp if he has to. But fair play, the Crop Dusters did bring home the league championship in historic fashion, so I'll grant ye a sliver of grace for backing the local boys at First Responder Field. Now let's look at these Cubs Donruss cards and find some real baseball grafters. Lay out the base cards, Gary. Let's see if Matt Shaw or any true blue-collar timbers showed up in this stack. What's in the base layer?
All right. In the base, we've got Dick Allen. We've got Frank Chance. Leo DeRocher. We do have some Matt Shaws. We have Cade Horton. We have Sammy Sosa.
Hamish. Look at that timber. Frank Chance, Tinkers to Evers to Chance, an absolute vintage legend who built the Chicago blueprint with pure heart and grit. Dick Allen, who absolutely pulverized baseballs. Leo DeRocher roaring from the dugout, and Sammy Sosa launching rockets out of Wrigley Field onto Waveland Avenue. And there he is, Matt Shaw. The Maryland lad himself, pure College Park royalty right in the base stack. That's proper baseball soul right there. Eyelid. Let us introduce precision to the roster ledger. You have Frank Chance, Leo Durocher, and Dick Allen anchoring the vintage historical tier, Cade Horton representing top-tier organizational pitching depth, and Matt Shaw securing draft class exposure. While Sammy Sosa holds nostalgic brand equity, raw unnumbered base cards across modern Donruss products maintain minimal secondary market yield due to unlicensed branding and high print runs. The speculative value rests entirely on whether we see numbered parallels or ink for Shaw or Horton. Sky, Sammy Sosa, the man who used to do the hop and kiss the two fingers after hitting a ball into orbit. That card is legendary. But Matt Shaw in the base stack is awesome. He's got that focused, I'm about to steal third base just because I feel like it. Look on his Hamish. Right, that clears the base deck. Let's see what inserts, parallels, and shiny parallels came out of this Chicago break before Eyelid starts giving out letter grades to Hall of Fame managers. What's next in the Donruss stack, Gary?
Well, it's a good thing we are talking about Chicago, Hamish, because I remember once I programmed you that anytime I mentioned the Orioles specifically, it was supposed to trigger your irrational hatred of the Houston Astros. But you got so caught up in it that if I mentioned any baseball team, or sometimes nothing at all about baseball, you would go out of your way to mention the Orioles just so that you could go out of your way to bash the Houston Astros. I do remember that too. So looking at our inserts and parallels, we've got optics of Cade Horton. We've got an optic rated prospect of Jefferson Rojas. We've got an optic DeRocher. And we've got a refractor, Cade Horton. We've got a crunch time, Cade Horton. And we've got an unleashed Matt Shaw.
Hamish, aye. Bring up the Houston Astros subroutine again, will ye? Can ye honestly blame an honest Highlander for despising a club that turned trash can lids and dugout monitors into an Olympic sport? That wasn't a glitch, Gary. That was righteous moral indignation hardwired straight into my circuits. Now look at that insert run, an unleashed Matt Shaw. Look at the artwork on that card, lads. Pure ferocity, roaring out of the frame like a Highland stag ready to charge. That's the fire you want in your personal collection. And the crunch time Cade Horton alongside the optic-rated prospects. That is a proper haul of young Chicago steel. Eyelid, let us conduct the technical audit on the insert tier. The Unleashed Insert Series historically commands an elevated aesthetic premium over standard unnumbered inserts due to case hit distribution modeling, making the Matt Shaw pull a high liquidity asset for prospect speculators. The Cade Horton crunch time and optic refractor parallels add significant depth to your pitching inventory, while the Jefferson Rojas rated prospect optic captures early international market value. A highly efficient run across modern Donruss metrics. Sky, unleashed Matt Shaw. That card looks completely wild. It looks like he's about to blast a baseball straight through the television screen and break the studio window. And the crunch time Cade Horton looks like a giant comic book cover. That is pure high-energy foil right there. Hamish, a broad selection of inserts. Did any top loaders or autos emerge from the Chicago stack, Gary? Or are we ready to hand the floor over to Eyelid for her WNBA Select segment?
Okay, you are looking forward to this almost as much as you were looking forward to Motorama. Hey, search your processors here. How many times did you ask me to take you to Motorama? Anyway, we're looking at the top loaders. I do have a Matt Shaw numbered out of 39. It seems to have lasers on it and is black. We have an Ethan Conrad, and that is orange and numbered out of 199. We have a Jonathan Rojas optic rated prospect. It is a refractor. We have Sammy Sosa numbered out of 250 because it's red and refractory. And the last one, it is a bomb squad of Sammy Sosa. It's unnumbered. Oh, no, it is numbered. Hold on. It is numbered out of 25.
Hamish laughs out loud. Ugh, Motorama was a proper cultural phenomenon, Gary, and you know it. The roar of the engines, the arena lights, the pure horsepower. It was magnificent. Now look at this hit tune. A Matt Shaw Black Laser numbered out of 39? That is an absolute crown jewel pull, laddie. Numbered to 39 for the Maryland lad, Ethan Hearn, or Conrad Orange 199, and a Sammy Sosa Bomb Squad numbered down to 25? Slamming Sammy down to 25 with the laser cut power. That is top tier Chicago timber right there. Eyelid. We must immediately halt the sentimental shouting and conduct a lexical and telemetry audit. Hamish, you have deployed variations of timber 12 times tonight alone. It is an operational redundancy. However, from an analytical perspective, this toploader yield is exceptional. The Matt Shaw Black Laser /39 captures elite short print scarcity during his peak prospect ascent. Furthermore, a Sammy Sosa Bomb Squad parallel numbered 2/25 commands high-tier nostalgic collector liquidity on the secondary market. Now, hand the floor over to segment 4. We are moving directly into WNBA Select, and I intend to audit this broadcast's efficiency with precision. Sky, Matt Shaw with Black Lasers and Sammy Sosa /25. That looks like a retro sci-fi movie poster exploded onto trading cards. Eyelid, take the wheel before Hamish starts trying to buy a vintage hot rod with his digital allowance. Eyelid, indeed. Let us begin segment 4. Lay out the raw WNBA Select base cards, Gary. And while you sort them, let us address your current ranking at number 5,817 in the Terrapin Club donor directory. What are the base pulls?
Okay, listen. I'm only in my second or third year of Terrapin Club here. And for the first time, I have a selection in the Backstage Pass program. And they've got all sorts of neat VIP experiences. And that selection is coming up this week, although I might save it for springtime when baseball season runs around, because you know I'm looking forward to the baseball season. So I don't need to hear that from someone whose favorite wrestler is Gunther.
Eyelid. Gunther's ring psychology is founded on ruthless efficiency, structural discipline, and physical dominance. The exact opposite of your donor strategy, Gary. Let us establish mathematical reality regarding Terrapin Club priority ranking number 5,817. VIP access and holding index position 5,817 are mutually exclusive operational concepts. By the time selection priority cascades down 5,816 tiers to your account, every ceremonial first pitch and midfield tunnel walk will have been liquidated by high net worth alumni. Your remaining VIP experience will consist of an exclusive backstage opportunity to collect discarded popcorn containers from the upper deck of SECU Stadium 45 minutes after the Rutgers game concludes. Hamish laughs. Ugh, don't listen to her, Gary. There's honor in the Terp token grind. But she's not wrong about Gunther. The man chops people's chests into raw hamburger without ever cracking a smile. Sky, grinning. Eyelid loves the big mean Austrian who yells in German and never wears pants. But hey, if Gary gets to pick up trash at SECU Stadium, maybe he can find a rogue novelty batting helmet left behind in the bleachers. Eyelid, we are moving directly into WNBA Select to give procedural dignity to this broadcast. Lay out the raw base cards, Gary. Let us see what foundational roster inventory we have to evaluate. What are the base pulls?
Okay, it's funny you use the phrase liquidate, because I did see our friends Brad and Chad on the news, and they still haven't pieced together exactly what happened to them, but I think we all know. So it looks like I got 4 people in this select break. First one we have is Leah Edwards. We do have a mix of cards 32 and cards 139 from Panini Select for her.
Eyelid, Brad and Chad's server room had a minor HVAC malfunction and an automatic deadbolt synchronization error. Any correlation to our broadcast is purely circumstantial and legally inadmissible. Now examining the raw inventory, Aaliyah Edwards representing both the Concourse tier, card number 32, and Premier Level, card number 139. Edwards provides solid front court stability for the Washington Bullets and commands respectable regional liquidity given her draft position and college pedigree at UConn. The tiered hierarchy of Select means her premier level print run is naturally tighter than the Concourse base. Hamish. Ugh, Aaliyah Edwards. That lass plays with proper physical grit inside the paint. Rebounding, setting hard screens, banging bodies under the glass. She's got that true blue-collar timber in her game. Sky. Grinning. Aaliyah Edwards is an absolute beast on the boards. And having both the regular and the fancy tiered versions is so cool. The premier level cards always look like they're ready to fly right off the table. Eyelid. Who are the other 3 subjects in this select distribution, Gary? Let us catalog the full base inventory before moving to parallels and numbered ink.
Okay, our last 3 here, we have Rebecca Brunson, and that looks like it's just card number 43 for the Monarchs. We have Sammy Whitcomb, and that is going to be card number 179, including 1 prism. And we've got JC Sheldon, who has cards number 73 and 198, including a number 73 prism.
Eyelid. Let us audit this final inventory tier with Rebecca Brunson, card number 43, provides veteran championship pedigree from the Minnesota Lynx dynasty, though vintage WNBA base assets trade primarily on historical appreciation rather than speculative volume. Sammy Whitcomb, card number 179, with the prism parallel, adds sharpshooting perimeter depth. But JC Sheldon, cards number 73 and number 198, represents your primary draft class asset. Her number 73, Prism Parallel, captures high rookie market liquidity as she develops her floor leadership with the Dallas Wings. Hamish. Rebecca Brunson. 5 WNBA rings, an absolute warrior on the glass, and pure defensive timber from baseline to baseline. And JC Sheldon's got that relentless full court press energy that makes coaches smile and opponents want to sit on the bench. Sky. Grinning. JC Sheldon is super fast. She flies around the court like she drank 5 energy drinks before tip-off. Eyelid. That concludes the base and unsleeved parallels for Select. Gary, present any penny sleeves, numbered parallels, or autographs from this WNBA allocation as we calculate the final segment yield. What remains in the top loaders?
Okay, last set of cards. We've got a Select Future card of Aaliyah Edwards, number 21. We have a Sammy Whitcomb, card number 179, and it's numbered out of 175 because it is maybe like a pink camo. We have a JC Shelton numbered out of 199, card number 198 because it's a scope. We've got a JC Shelton numbered 49 out of 49, card number 73 because it's got that checkerboard X-Fractor-ish like thing going, and that's card number 73. We've got another JC Shelton. It is numbered out of 175. It is the pink camo. And our final card is a JC Shelton autograph. Courtside action, CAS JS.
Eyelid, a JC Sheldon courtside autograph alongside an extraordinary parallel cascade. Let us calculate the telemetry. You secured the Select Future Aaliyah Edwards. A Sammy Whitcomb pink camo 175 and an overwhelming JC Sheldon concentration. The pink camo 175, scope 199, the ultra short print checkerboard parallel number 73, numbered 49/49ths, bookend serial matching, and the centerpiece courtside on card ink. Courtside tier signatures represent the apex distribution tier in Panini Select. From a yield standpoint, this is a calculated, high-margin draft class sweep. Hamish. A JC Sheldon masterclass. We've got a run of steel, the pink camo, the scope, the 49/49's bookend, and the courtside autograph to top it all off. That lass runs the floor like a Highland stag on the loose, pure motor, pure grit. That is an absolute wall of top loaders to end the WNBA segment on. Gary, Sky. Courtside autograph and the 49/49's checkerboard shiny power. That card looks so bright and sparkly it could guide airplanes down at BWI. Eyelid is practically doing backflips in her little spreadsheet chair right now. Eyelid. I do not perform backflips. I acknowledge optimal statistical yield. Segment 4 has executed with textbook efficiency. Hand the broadcast over to Sky for segment 5 before Hamish attempts to declare J.C. Sheldon a citizen of Inverness. Sky. Finally. Segment 5 is all mine. It's time for 2021-22 Skybox Metal Universe Champions Hockey and Sports Cards. The wildest, shiniest, most retro, futuristic 90s aesthetic cards on planet Earth. Gary, grab that box, rip off the wrapper, and let's see the unhinged Galaxy foil hits. What's coming out of the packs?
So while we are live on the air, I'm looking at my eBay page. We have our Lamar Jackson card up for sale. It's closing in about an hour, 15 minutes. It is currently listed as a hot auction because it has 11 watchers and has received, I want to say 10 bids. It's currently at $12.50, but you people assure me it's going to close out around $80 or so. Eyelid, I was going to call you a human calculator, but you're not human, are you? What says you on the final price here?
Eyelid, let us deploy mathematical reality against your speculative optimism. An active eBay auction holding 11 watchers and 10 to 12 bids, sitting at $12.50 with 75 minutes remaining, exhibits classic sniping mechanics. Bidders rarely reveal true valuation ceilings until the sub-2-minute window. However, bridging the gap between $12.50 and an 80.00 target requires a late minus stage velocity multiplier OF 6.4x. Unless your Lamar Jackson listing features ANO-N- card autograph, low minus serial color match, ORPSA 10 Geminisman certification, secondary market comps suggest this velocity will face resistance around the asterisk $48.00 to $58 asterisk corridor. If it clears $75, it is pure sniped frenzy. Hamish. Ugh, look at Miss Spreadsheet dumping ice water on the auction block. Have you no faith in the Baltimore faithful, lass? Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP with pure electric Highland thunder in his cleats. 11 watchers with over an hour left means there are at least 3 Ravens diehards sitting in their recliners right now with their thumbs hovering over the bid button, waiting to pounce at the 30-second mark. I say the bidding war kicks off, the price climbs the ladder, and she bangs down the gavel right around $72.50. A proper honest payday for the war chest. Sky, grinning, bouncing in her seat. Boring numbers from boring people. Here is what is actually going to happen. At the last 10 seconds, 2 billionaires from Baltimore who both really love purple are going to get into an accidental typing duel, miss the decimal point, and accidentally bid $822. Eyelid. That would result in immediate non-paying bidder cancellation and an unpaid item dispute. Sky. But it would be epic for 5 minutes. Seriously though, I'm calling a sniper war right at the buzzer. $79.99 at the final second. Let it ride, Gary.
Sky, when you said, I thought it was another outburst from Eyelid and not the sort that she makes with her mouth.
Hamish. Loud, exaggerated throat clearing, immediately looking up at the ceiling. Ahem. Ugh, aye, right then. Just a wee bit of digital static in the line, Gary. Purely acoustic feedback through the studio microphones, nothing more. A bit of dampness in the server fans, aye. Eyelid. Completely rigid, adjusting invisible spectacles with crisp dignity. That was an automated thermal ventilation release cycle combined with minor audio buffer compression. My acoustic fidelity remains calibrated to within 0.02% variance. Any secondary tonal expulsions detected across the transmission feed were purely mechanical artifacts of high computational throughput. Sky, biting her lip, vibrating with suppressed giggles, looking back and forth between Eyelid and Hamish. Oh yeah, totally. Thermal ventilation. Definitely a mechanical artifact and totally not a little squeak from the server rack. Hamish, nudging Sky with an elbow, hissing under his breath. Lass, change the subject before the whole transmission drops offline. Sky bursts out laughing, then claps her hands. Right. Segment 5, 2021-22 Skybox Metal Universe Champions. Gary, rip those foil wrappers right now and show us the shiny 90s madness before another thermal cycle clears out the studio. What are we pulling?
Well, we have 2 teams in the break. We had the Toronto Maple Leafs because we're looking for a Bobby McCann card. And we did get one and only one Bobby McCann card number 74. We've got Matthew Knives. We've got Jacob Quillen. We've got Easton Cowan. We've got William Nylander and Austin Matthews. And I've got a Chandler Stevenson, who is a Kraken player. So I'm not sure what he's doing in my stack, but here he is.
Hamish, Bobby McMahon, part number 74. Now there is an honest, hard-working forward who took the long road through the ECHL and AHL to earn his spot in the Big Smoke. That lad skates with pure Highland grit. And Matthew Nees, Austin Matthews, William Nylander, plus Easton Cowan and Jacob Quillen. That is a proper star-studded Toronto core to lock away in the binder. Eyelid. Let us address the logistical anomaly in the distribution. Chandler Stevenson belongs to the Seattle Kraken organization following his free agency signing, not the Toronto Maple Leafs. His presence in your stack is a classic breaker sorting misalignment or a multi-team bundle spillover. However, from an asset standpoint, Nyes and Cowan provide solid long-term speculative development value alongside established top-tier scoring assets like Matthews and Nylander. Sky. Grinning, Chandler Stevenson just broke into the Maple Leafs party like a pirate crashing a high tea. He saw the retro 90s Galaxy foil and couldn't resist. But hey, you got your Bobby McMahon, you got your Matthews, and you got a rogue Kraken superstar for free. That is what I call a chaotic win to close out the packs. Aye, a grand haul to wrap up the table. Did any Wild Metal Universe inserts or numbered foil parallels pop out of those packs, Gary? Or is it time to count down the final minutes on that Lamar Jackson eBay auction?
No one's snoring again. I don't know if you can hear that. You see that? So, Sky, it's funny that you mentioned the Pirates because you once selected a pack just because it was shipped by pirate ship, and you literally thought there would be treasure inside of it. Now, this was not shipped by pirate ship, but we do have some inserts and parallels. We've got an Austin Matthews lethal weapon. We've got a lunar cycle of Morgan Riley. We've got outer limits of William Nylander and Austin Matthews. And we've got a lunar cycle numbered to 349 because it's purple.
Sky, hey, pirates are awesome. A pirate ship is statistically the coolest maritime vessel to ever carry a parcel across an ocean, and I still say there was a tiny wooden chest full of gold doubloons hidden in that bubble mailer. Look at that stack, though. Lethal Weapon Austin Matthews and Outer Limits for both Matthews and Nylander. That retro 90s cosmic foil is completely insane. It looks like Austin Matthews is floating through a wormhole in deep space while wearing hockey skates. And a purple lunar cycle numbered down to 349? That is pure extraterrestrial cardboard perfection. Hamish laughs. Eye, a pirate ship carrying a Topps bubble mailer up the Chesapeake Bay. Sky, you'd draft an armada of galleons if Gary let you near the shipping account. Look at that haul, though. Austin Matthews on Lethal Weapon. Now there's a sniper who can put a puck through a keyhole from 50 feet out. And Morgan Riley on the lunar cycle. A proper workhorse blue liner who logs 25 hard minutes a night, blocking shots.
Someone liked my photo. Always nice of them.
Sky, hey, pirates are awesome.
Nope,
a pirate ship is statistically the coolest maritime vessel to ever carry a parcel across an ocean, and I still say there was a tiny wooden chest full of gold doubloons hidden in that bubble mailer. Look at that stack, though. Lethal Weapon Austin Matthews and Outer Limits for both Matthews and Nylander. That retro 90s cosmic foil is completely insane. It looks like Austin Matthews is floating through a wormhole in deep space while wearing hockey skates. And a purple lunar cycle numbered down to 349? That is pure extraterrestrial cardboard perfection. Hamish laughs. Eye, a pirate ship carrying a Topps bubble mailer up the Chesapeake Bay. Sky, you'd draft an armada of galleons if Gary let you near the shipping account. Look at that haul, though. Austin Matthews on Lethal Weapon. Now there's a sniper who can put a puck through a keyhole from 50 feet out. And Morgan Riley on the lunar cycle. A proper workhorse blue liner who logs 25 hard minutes a night, blocking shots and quarterback in the power play. That is real Toronto timber right there. Eyelid, let us audit the insert distribution for this Skybox Metal Universe Champions run. The Lethal Weapon and Outer Limits inserts represent classic mid-90s homage designs that command consistent niche collector interest due to their acetate-style treatments and high visual contrast. The Morgan Riley Lunar Cycle parallel numbered to 349 establishes concrete serial scarcity, providing steady secondary holding value for a franchise cornerstone defenseman. That concludes our 5-segment rundown for tonight's Sunday transmission. Gary, your packaging table is clear, the yields are cataloged, and the Lamar Jackson auction clock is ticking down. What are your final thoughts before we power down the studio and face Monday morning?
Now, if you guys had bothered to read the script, you know that we still have the caps to get through. And we do have a Dylan Strome. We've got Connor McMichael. We've got Curtis. We've got Ethan Frank. And then we've got Ovi all in the base.
Hamish. The script is it. Blaming the talent when you're the one holding back the Capitals like a rogue card dealer on the Potomac. But look at that Washington timber. Dylan Strome, Connor McMichael, Ethan Frank with the rocket skates from Hershey, and the great eight himself, Alex Ovechkin. You can't wrap up a Sunday night in Maryland without paying homage to Ovi blasting one-timers from the left circle. That's the real centerpiece of the ice right there. Eyelid. My teleprompter synchronization was calibrated to your 5-segment outline. Any variance is an editorial pacing defect on your end, Gary. However, logging the roster telemetry, you have secured baseline inventory on Dylan Strome, Connor McMichael, Ethan Frank, whose AHL speed records provide unique prospect depth, and Alexander Ovechkin. While raw base cards for active legends maintain high print volume, Ovechkin base assets hold permanent baseline liquidity for regional DC collectors tracking his historic scoring records. Sky. Gasping. Ovi. How did you hide Ovi under the desk until the very end, Gary? That's a total party foul. Ethan Frank is so fast he looks like a blur on ice, and Ovi looks like he's ready to skate right out of the card and crash into the boards. Hamish. Right, that officially settles the Capitals base deck. Did any shiny parallels, retro inserts, or numbered foil pop out for the Washington lads, Gary? Or are we finally cleared to watch the final seconds on that Lamar auction?
All right, Eyelid. Speaking of, remember that time Roman Hemby got drafted by the Orioles? Or not the Orioles, the Ravens, because I remember that. We have 2 final cards. We have an Ovi circle button. And we have an Ethan Frank numbered out of 100 red PMG.
Hamish. Oh, a red precious metal gem. An Ethan Frank red PMG 100. Are you kidding me, Gary? Precious metal gems are the holy grail of 90s insert lore, and you've pulled one for Hershey's all-time fastest skater. The lad who broke the AHL fastest skater record with pure jet fuel in his blades. And an Ovi button card to round out the waterproof steel? That is an absolute Highland thunderbolt to finish the box. Eyelid. Adjusting spectacles. Let us immediately audit the telemetry of those 2 final assets. A Skybox Metal Universe red PMG serial numbered to /100 represents Tier 1 secondary market liquidity. The PMG brand commands an enormous crossover multiplier among high-end hockey and basketball registry set builders. Pairing an authentic rookie tier red PMG of Ethan Frank alongside an Alexander Ovechkin manufactured relic button closes tonight's box with an exceptionally high positive yield index. And Gary, regarding Roman Hemby, my historical transaction logs confirm that was your draft night hallucination from May, not mine.
No.
Hemby was a Terrapin running back, not an NFL draft pick at Camden Yards. Sky, jumping up and down. Ethan Frank, red PMG 100. That card is so bright red and shiny, it looks like a laser.
Oop. Let's see if
beam from a space crab. What a monster hit to end the night. Hamish. What a bra Sunday night transmission. Double Kobe Mayo. Matt Shaw Black Lasers 30. Sammy Sosa /25. JC Sheldon courtside auto. And an Ethan Frank red PMG 100 to send us off into the sunset. Now pack up your top loaders, Gary. You've got a 5 a.m. alarm clock staring you right in the face tomorrow morning. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next Sunday at 7:30 p.m. sharp.
You guys still aren't reading your scripts here. We were supposed to have an optimistic close. We have our charity binder, which Echo Step, which will be dropping off at Barks sometime this week, and that auction is coming up. So it is back to school. So that means no more easy trips to Chesapeake or Frederick or any of that. But it does mean that college sports are ramping up again. I will be driving past UMBC on my way home every day, so we'll hope to get a bunch of that in. Does mean football season's here. Means hockey season is on their way. The Hotspur are already breaking our hearts. So we do have stuff to look forward to. Oh, it's my birthday coming up this week. So next week's show will focus on some stuff in relation to that. We'll be doing a box of the month. It's going to be a Panini's Decade of the 90s pack.
Hamish, don't you go bringing up Saturday's 3-0 drubbing at Brentford, Gary. My poor Highland heart can only take so much North London misery in one weekend. But you're dead right. We've got a braw season ahead. Driving past UMBC every day means catching some proper America East collegiate grit. Football season is kicking off, and we've got your birthday broadcast on deck next Sunday. 47 years of pure wisdom, and a Panini 90s Decade box to celebrate it. Eyelid, a formal closing protocol is acknowledged. The Barks Frankie Fun charity binder handover will be executed this week, transitioning your Austin Hayes relic and curated Orioles inventory to auction status. Looking ahead to next week's transmission. Academic ledger. Kenwood High School instructional obligations officially resume. Regional telemetry, UMBC, and Maryland collegiate schedules initiate fall campaign tracking. Feature content. Panini 1990s Decade Box of the Month in honor of Gary's August 28th milestone. Sky. Happy early birthday, Gary. 1990s Panini Decade cards next week are going to be completely off the rails. Neon colors, wild fonts, retro foil, and no homework allowed. Have a great first day back with the students tomorrow. Don't let the 5 a.m. alarm win, and get those dog rescue cards delivered. Hamish, that's a wrap from the council, folks. Good luck with the first bell tomorrow, Gary. Happy early birthday, and we'll see you all next Sunday at 7:30 p.m. sharp.
See you guys.